Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Be That Create That podcast, where you know that we're working on empowering women to lead with their leadership, confidence, impact, and most importantly, their authenticity. I'm your coach, Trienne. I'm also your biggest fan, and we haven't even met yet. But today we're going to dive into a topic that could quietly really derail, is the best word I can think of, your leadership reputation, and games that we should never play as a leader and you also shouldn't allow in your setting. So, as leaders, it's easy to get caught up in those workplace dynamics, but the most impactful leaders know how to rise above all that noise. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you 7 office politics that leaders never play so that you can avoid these traps and really build more of a positive reputation as a confident, trusted leader. So let's get started. So the first one we want to talk about is favoritism at work. Playing favorites, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, this can really damage your team trust. So when one person consistently receives better treatment, more compliments, others feel overlooked and start to also feel undervalued. And instead, what we want to do is we want to create an environment where recognition is more based on the effort, the results, and the growth. What I want you to do is ask yourself, am I giving equal opportunities for my team to shine? Am I also handing out equal compliments for those efforts, even though the efforts may be different for different people? Because remember, we want to see people in the best versions of themselves and not be comparing them to other people in the office who might do things a little bit differently because, after all, they're a different person completely. All right, that next game that we want to avoid and we are never going to play is the gossip game. Gossip can seem really harmless in the moment, but it also starts to create some deep rifts within your team. So when any leader starts to participate in gossip, they're going to risk losing credibility right away. Great leaders redirect gossip by really opening up conversations. And if you've never heard of reverse gossip, this is what I try to teach when I'm teaching the littles in character ed, is if this person was either standing right outside the room or a friend goes to them and says, hey, I wanted to let you know that Sally was talking about you today and this is what she said. We want that gossip or that information that's being passed around, rumored, so to say, which we'll get into next, lifting that person up and really making them feel like, wow, I really feel seen. And even when I wasn't in the room, someone had my back and was watching out for me. Because if someone brings you gossip, what you're going to do is you're going to respond with, have you shared this directly with that person? Do you want to role play maybe how you might do that? Because this sets a standard for healthy communication. The next one, which we just talked about, is that spreading of rumors. So rumors are a fast track to broken trust. Spreading any sort of false information not only damages your reputation, but it's also going to weaken that team dynamic. So as a leader, your influence should be promoting the facts, the clarity, positivity. And if you hear a rumor similar to gossip, you want to commit to investigating for that truth and then maybe addressing it openly so that we can get rid of any sort of confusion. Few things destroy a team culture faster than a leader who undermines or backstabs other people on the team. Leaders who engage in that backstabbing really foster more of a fear instead of collaboration. Instead of building a culture of trust by speaking with honesty and handling conflicts directly, remember, great leaders own those mistakes rather than shifting any of the blame. And this also leads into our next one, which is forming cliques. You know, it's really natural for people to connect with those that they relate to, but exclusivity in groups can create division. And I think we've all seen enough of that in our outside world today. So inside, as a leader, actively really bridge that gap. Build a bridge and get over it between team members by promoting inclusion and understanding of each other. So you organize team building activities. You maybe have an employee engagement board. You really want to come up with things that encourage cross-department or cross-team connections. And this is really going to ensure that nobody is feeling excluded. Next one is that when leaders start to hoard or withhold information to create some sort of control, it really can stifle the team growth. Transparency fuels trust. Be very open with your team. You're going to share important information openly, even if it requires some hard conversations. Sometimes the hardest conversations are the ones that most need to be done. So, one powerful strategy is just to provide regular team updates so everyone feels informed and valued at the same level. Next one, and we're saving this one for last, is blackmailing. This one seems extreme, yet some subtle manipulation tactics still exist in a lot of workplaces. Pressuring someone into an action through fear or manipulation breaks trust and destroys your personal leadership credibility. So, great leaders are really going to build more of an influence through being authentic, respectful, and collaborating with other people on the team. So, if you want to establish yourself as a trusted, impactful leader, avoiding these office politics is key. Instead, maybe lead with some transparency, respect, and inclusion. These qualities naturally earn you influence and inspire your team to follow that example. But before we wrap up, here's your challenge. I want you to just take a moment for today to reflect on how you are showing up as a leader. We want to remember that a woman who can lead herself can lead others, and she can see the challenges that others are having because she's gotten herself through it. There are maybe some small habits or conversations that could be steering you toward one of these office politics traps, and you don't even realize it. So, awareness is key. It's the first step to shifting your leadership style for the better, not only for yourself, but also for your team. And if you're ready to take your team or yourself to the next level in their leadership, I want you guys to visit www.trienne.com/services, because here you're going to find resources that are going to help strengthen your confidence, help you create more impact, and really build your leadership lifestyle. So thank you so much for joining me today. Obviously, the best gift you can give or feedback, because feedback is a gift, is to go on and rate or review the podcast. This would help us so much to bring even more content your way of what's helping you with your small teams and your own personal leadership. So remember, we're going to lead boldly, live authentically, and create that impact that you are meant to make in the world. Have a great day.